She said it like a courtesy, like she was explaining a late train. "He was depressed," she said. "You'd understand if you trusted me." Her voice didn't shake. That was the first cut. It was still my birthday. The candles were half melted on the counter, leaning into themselves. The cake sat untouched, sweating sugar into the cardboard. Midnight had passed an hour ago. She'd come home 10 minutes earlier, from his place. I nodded, not because I agreed, because nodding required less energy than screaming. I watched her keys hit the bowl, watched her kick off her shoes. She didn't look at me when she said his name. That was the second cut. I felt something detach inside my chest. Not break, detach. Clean, surgical. I didn't ask questions. Questions give liars something to work with. I turned and walked to the bedroom. She followed me halfway down the hall, confused now, concerned, performing. I opened the closet. The hangers whispered as I pushed them aside. My hands moved on their own, precise, calm. I pulled out a suitcase, unzipped it. That's when I saw the drawer, the bottom one, the one I'd measured twice before hiding anything inside it. I opened it. The ring box sat exactly where I'd left it, black velvet, still, patient. I stared at it for a long second, then I picked it up and slipped it into my pocket. I turned. She was standing in the doorway. She saw the box. Her face drained so fast it scared me. I walked past her, and I left. We'd been together 3 years, long enough to learn each other's patterns, long enough to know when a silence was just tiredness and when it was hiding something sharp underneath. The past few months had been thinner, less eye contact, less weight in her touch. She'd started guarding her phone the way people guard wounds, screen down, notifications off, smiling at nothing. And him. Her ex had reappeared in casual sentences, like background noise. "He's not doing well. He called again. I'm just checking in." I told myself it was empathy. I told myself I wasn't the jealous type. I told myself a lot of things because they were easier than listening to the quiet alarm ringing behind my ribs. The birthday was supposed to be simple. Dinner, a bottle of red, maybe the ring if the moment felt right. She texted at 8:17. "He's not okay. I need to go over for a bit." I didn't reply. At 11:42, she sent another. "I'll explain when I get back." People don't explain things that are innocent. They just tell them. When she finally came home, she smelled like his cologne. Different, older, familiar to her in a way that didn't include me. He was depressed, she said, as if depression required lying, as if my trust was the problem. I didn't confront her. Confrontation gives betrayal a stage. I gave her silence, and silence makes people careless. I stayed quiet for days after I left. No accusations, no ultimatums, just absence. I moved through my routines like a ghost revisiting a crime scene. Work, gym, sleep, repeat. At night I replayed everything. The way she'd started deleting messages, the sudden password change, the way she'd flinch when his name lit up the screen and then smile before answering. I didn't check her phone, not yet. I started smaller. Phone records, shared account, easy enough. Long calls, late hours, the kind of conversations that don't happen between people who are just checking in. I drove past his place once, parked down the block, watched her car pull in, watched her lights go off an hour later. No rage, just documentation. I began to understand something important about myself. I wasn't angry, I was focused. The ring box sat in my jacket pocket every day, a reminder, not of what I'd lost, but of what she'd gambled. I imagined her telling him stories about me, how I didn't understand her, how I was distant, how she was trying. People rewrite history to justify the present. I waited. Betrayal always reveals itself to those who don't rush it. The truth arrived on a Tuesday, an email confirmation, a forwarded receipt she forgot to delete, a hotel, one night, my birthday. I stared at the screen until the letters stopped pretending to be harmless. I didn't feel pain then. Pain comes later. What I felt was clarity. I asked her to meet me, neutral ground, coffee shop, glass walls, witnesses. She arrived smiling, cautious, hopeful. I slid my phone across the table. She didn't touch it at first. She already knew. When she did, her breath caught, her eyes scanned, calculated, failed. "It's not what it looks like," she started. I raised a hand. She stopped. I asked one question, the only one that mattered. "Did you sleep with him?" Silence stretched between us. Then a nod, small, barely there. She reached for my hand. I pulled it back. I stayed calm. That terrified her more than anger ever could. I stood up. She panicked. Words spilled, apologies, explanations, depression, confusion, love. I reached into my pocket, pulled out the ring box, placed it on the table. Her face collapsed. "I was going to propose," I said, flat, factual. She sobbed, loud, ugly, desperate. People stared. I leaned in close enough for only her to hear. "You didn't ruin my future," I said. "You revealed it." I left the ring there, walked out without looking back. Later, I blocked her everywhere, changed my number, moved apartments. I heard through mutual friends that she tried to go back to him. He didn't want her. Betrayal has a short shelf life. Sometimes I think about the man I was before that night, the one who believed trust was a gift, the one who hid a ring in a drawer and thought love was enough. I don't miss him. I didn't lose anything that mattered. I gained precision. Clarity has a cost, but it pays in freedom. I don't wonder if she regrets it. Regret is for people who still think they mattered. I walk lighter now, quieter, untouchable in a way I wasn't before. She taught me something important. Some doors don't close, they disappear, and you never look for them again.